didn't see.
Yeah, that's the new one, but here, I'm make sure I didn't do this twice. I do know I'm live, so I'm not going to say anything crazy. We do have new warnings coming up. Let's see. Just making sure. Hey guys, I'm just making sure I'm live, so just give me a second, and once I confirm, I will go with it. All right. Okay. So I am live. That is good. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. We have first off, we'll talk about the new warning first, and then we'll go into that storm that's moving out of the area. But yes, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect now for Rapides and parts of Vernon Parish. This is for a cell that it's one we've been watching pretty closely, and I'll actually back that out a little bit, and we'll show the motion, kind of where it's come from, where it's going. You can see that this one has kind of taken that little deviation to the right as well. So sometimes when we see these get stronger, that does happen. We've even heard a couple of rumbles of thunder here around the house. So first rumbles of thunder here for the day. And this looks like mainly a wind and hail threat at this point. And hail wouldn't, it's not jumping off the page as a crazy hail threat.
I think what motivated the Weather Service to issue that warning is that the wind potential in this is increasing. Hail, not so much, but I think you're right. I think it's going to be the wind.
Yeah, and so with this storm moving toward the east-northeast, this is going to impact areas of northern, especially northwestern Rapides Parish. And again, it does clip a little bit of Vernon, but you can see the worst of this is out of there. So let's get right out ahead of this thing. Boyce, Hot Wells, that area, Crane, McNutt, that's where this storm is going. Clifton, you're kind of right underneath the worst of this right now. And then up into Flatwoods, you're seeing some heavy rainfall out of this. You're kind of on the backside of this, and this is your, I guess, second or third go-around today. And we've only had a couple of drops here at the house, so not a lot going on there. Let's take a look at lightning, see what we have going on there. Should be a decent little amount. Only 8 strikes, so not a ton of lightning out of this storm just yet, but I think it's going to be pulsing up here in the next few minutes. So severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. This is until 5 p.m. for Rapides Parish. I see that it says county. I'm going to see what I can do to fix that, because that ain't going to fly. But I'm going to just read the text of the warning to you. At 4:17 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Clifton, or 13 miles southwest of Lena, moving east at 20 miles per hour. So slow. I don't know. I think it's moving a little quicker than that. The main hazard, 60 mile per hour wind gusts and maybe some penny-sized hail. So this is mainly going to be a wind potential on this, and we'll certainly be watching the threat for any sort of rotation to develop with this.
One thing about this is look at the timing. That corresponds to the evening commute. And so, yeah, you may have to be out in a storm.
Yeah, and so if at all possible, you might not want to take off right now. If you have, say you're planning on heading out to dinner, you might want to wait, because after this storm, I actually think we're going to see more fill-in back here. We still have a warning down here, but that storm really did not take off. This is the strongest storm in our area right now. Oh, wait a second, except for we now have a tornado warning on this cell. So we've got a bunch of warnings going on now. First off, looks like some pretty big-time hail between Clayton and Faraday. It looks like a new tornado warning. This includes LaSalle Parish and Grant Parish. So let me take a look and get the text for you on that one. That's old. This is new. Tornado warning radar indicated rotation. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 13 miles west of Midway, or 22 miles southeast of Winfield, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. And that's more like what I'm thinking on the speed with these. This storm will be around Gina at 4:35 p.m. So other locations impacted could be Zenoria, Georgetown, Rochelle, and Tullis. So if you are in those areas, you have the potential, you have a tornado warning in effect. And now let's take a look and see what we have on the velocity. What brought this tornado warning about? And I'm going to go into storm relative here. And there is some rotation in there that we're seeing. Looks kind of contaminated and a little noisy. I'll put it on a loop. And I'm sorry, I have like a fuzz on my nose or something. I got to get that off. All right, we got that out of our system. There is the area that we're watching. Looks like that moved through Dry Prong, very close to Dry Prong, and then continues on toward the northeast, toward Gina. It's an area to watch for sure, as this tornado warning has just been issued. So let's take a look and see just to make sure. No, we don't see a debris issue, but just real quick, I want to jump over to this storm. It looks like it's producing some pretty large hail.
Yeah, I think according to MRMS, perhaps over golf ball size.
Yeah, I mean, we're showing
Between Jonesville and Faraday.
between, yeah, so and now into this area like Clayton, Faraday, probably north of Ridgecrest, but watch out if you're heading north on Faraday where the speed limit increases right there, up toward Clayton where you would turn onto 425, I believe it is. There could be some, we're showing 3.75. That's a loft. That's not going to be falling to the ground from what I'm seeing, but you could see some golf ball sized hail out of this storm, as it is really, really ramping up there. I did not expect to see hail of that size today, but please, again, if safe, report that stuff to us. Let us know what you're seeing, and we will have that information out there to get to everyone. I actually need to pull up my comments here just in case I'm seeing that.
NWS is calling golf ball hail.
Okay, so they're calling for golf ball out of that.
I think it could be a little larger than that. But
Okay.
Not the 3.5.
Yeah, that's going to be a potentially big hail producer there that's moving out of our area, but still northern Concordia, maybe extreme southern Tensas Parish. That's where the worst of that hail core is. But back to the...
Local storm report wind damage.
Let me see this.
5 south southwest of Midway.
Tornado warning on it now, too. So we have 2 tornado warnings active. Let's see. Let's get off the skits and go into check this tornado warning, Jefferson County, Adams County, Mississippi, as well as northern Concordia Parish in Louisiana. And I'm just going to pull up the text on this so we can see what we have going on, because that is a monster cell right there. Got a couple of tornado warnings going on right now. Again, we have the one to the west that impacts parts of Grant and LaSalle Parish, and then we have this one that is now just north or on the north side of Natchez, and it's moving out of Louisiana. And let me take this away so we can actually see both of these tornado warned storms. And yes, we have a severe thunderstorm warning or two from just west of Alexandria into Vernon Parish and then south of Leesville. But let's focus on the tornado warnings for right now. The southwestern Tensas Parish, northeastern Concordia Parish, southwestern Claiborne County in southwestern Mississippi, Jefferson County, and northeastern Adams County. You are all under a tornado warning. You can see the red area right there. This is for a potential tornado, radar indicated potential. That is near Faraday, moving east at 45. Tornado and golf ball sized hail are the main threats. So you're going to have wind-blown large hail. I mean, look at that core right over Clayton, and that's our little low-level lock that shows up and shows us that we have rotation that they're inferring from their radar data, from the radar data. Again, we get some of these algorithm things that come in, but you know what I'm going to do is go ahead and take that off so we can see all the data that we need to see here. And base velocity shows some rotation, and there's a pretty clear amount of rotation. Now, again, we're 7,500 feet up in this storm, so it's really tough to tell you for certain that something is on the ground here. All this stuff in here I think we're seeing is hail, really. I don't see a clear debris type signature, but let me put it in motion just to make sure I'm not lying to you. Yeah, it's not a confirmed, so I'm thinking that's mainly just scattering from the hail. Okay, let's go back to reflectivity. Big time hail producer from near Jonesville through Faraday, Clayton, and now moving into Mississippi. So yeah, we'll be glad to see this one go away. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other storms though, as we have a lot to talk about right now, and I'm going to pause things so we don't have too much motion here. Storm relative. Not seeing a ton on the storm that's moving from Grant into LaSalle Parish. So there is a tornado warning in effect here. This was a radar indicated tornado. Not seeing anything right now that's screaming tornado is down. I will always check out the debris tracker, and I don't see anything there. So very good news. Not seeing anything confirmed out of this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the storm that's now moving toward the west side of Alexandria. Boyce, northwestern Rapides Parish, you are kind of under the gun with this one. And it looks like Boyce, you are getting into the heavier rainfall right now. I'll turn on the lightning real quick, and we have a few more strikes out of it. Not a ton going on, but it's pretty loud around Boyce, I can guarantee that. I'll put this in motion now that we're focusing in on these storms to the southwest. And, yeah, that storm could be producing some hail. I think gusty, damaging wind is going to be your main threat. And then this storm down here, you can see the lightning really just kind of gave up on that one. So they reissued the warning. So, you want to heed it, but I'm not sure exactly what, unless it was collapsing and they were saying, well, let's keep this warning going. Let me see if we got storm relative showing anything. Nope. Not seeing a ton out of that. Probably some gusty winds up around Boyce right now. I'm going to take a look at this and see. Yeah. I mean, that's a loft by about 600, 700, 800 feet. So 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts are certainly possible with this storm as it continues to move toward the east-northeast, 30, 40 miles per hour.
I'll call those are standard warnings. So those are the most common type of warnings issued. So quarter-size hail and strong winds, 60 mile per hour wind, that's pretty common. So I think the thinking from the Weather Service office is let's go ahead and issue this just in case.
Yep, and you don't want to overwarn, you don't want to underwarn. So we want to keep you, they want to keep you safe. That's the goal with all of this. We've been talking about this thing coming up for days and days now and kind of ramped up the messaging as it did look like this was going to become something that was going to be a bit stronger than I had anticipated a few days ago. So, now we're seeing it come to fruition here. And fortunately, so far, only one confirmed tornado, and hopefully that's all we end up seeing for today.
And from the National Weather Service in Shreveport, this just in from damage reports, there was confirmed tornado damage in the Gorham area.
Okay, so in Gorham, there was confirmed tornado damage with that storm earlier. Now, just south of that area, we're seeing, I'm looking at the rotation track, and you can see that's pretty intense here, moving up toward Boyce. Not enough to get a tornado warning out of this. Let me go ahead and loop this and take a look and see what we've got going on. But again, strong damaging straight line winds are possible, very heavy rainfall, and some hail. And speaking of hail, I'm going to take off the lightning and go ahead and take a look once again at that monster storm that's moving out of Louisiana into Mississippi and around Clayton. Man, I would love to get some hail reports out of that Faraday-Clayton area because that storm is absolutely...
I think definitely something opened off.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at... we have so many monitors going here, but yeah, that is a very stout hail core right there. Now also a tornado warning to go with that, so areas around Clayton and Faraday and then heading into southwest Mississippi, you do have that tornado warning and more storms forming and coming up there, feeding into this from the backside. And another tornado warning for Grant and LaSalle Parish. It looks like Grant's probably going to get trimmed out of that pretty quickly, but LaSalle Parish still under a tornado warning. I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out as crazy strong rotation. Mid-level rotation, though, here northwest of Natchez, attached to a very strong supercell. We don't get low-level views into these storms here unless somebody wants to come and buy a radar and pop it down here somewhere around Gina.
The trend on this northwest Rapides Parish storm is for less rotation, which hopefully implies that the wind damage potential is decreasing.
That would be the hope here. We still have a decent-looking cell out there. If you're in Boyce, you are under the gun right now, and this is going to continue to cross I-49. Heavy rainfall, probably just north. I'm thinking of Coteal Lake. Yeah, it's close to. Probably going to be scraping Coteal there and north of Kincaid. But I don't think anyone's out fishing today. That's it's not the day for that. So showers and thunderstorms continue to develop out to the southwest, and these are going to continue to train up over the area. We should eventually get some rain here in Alexandria. Unfortunately, it's that brand that we don't want, where it comes very quickly and runs off. We had some. Tom was looking at reports. There was one of 3.75 inches of rain up in northern Vernon Parish. So. Near Hornbeck, yeah, and that's that area that's under the flash flood warning right now. That is for Bayou Anacoco. So, looking at our velocity stuff, just kind of taking the tour through each scan here, and I'm not seeing anything that's overly concerning right now, though we do have 2 tornado warnings that are in place here, and I think the biggest worry right now is that hail that's now crossing the Mississippi River north of Natchez. This is moving out of our area and into Mississippi. So as this heads on toward the east of Faraday here, we can wave goodbye to the large hail. Still have the tornado warning in effect for them for a little bit, and then tornado warning here in the Gina area for this storm that I'm never going to sit here and say don't worry about it or something like that, but I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out at me saying, hey, there's a big problem here, so you want to be as safe as you can. But if you need to reassure the kids, and I'm saying right now that I'm not seeing anything crazy with that storm. That could change quickly, especially in this very volatile environment, but they've already seen a lot of rain in that area, so hopefully they've stabilized.
It doesn't look quite as bad to me as the earlier storm.
Yeah, so that storm, tornado warned, but hopefully on a weakening trend. We're going to take a look at the storms that are now southwest of Alexandria. And then we have another one here to the west. And if I know how this is going to go, it's amazing the little force field. Everybody thinks they have one around their house. I actually do. It seems like we'll probably just slip in between these and not get any rainfall. I don't know. It could happen, but at least I got my trace. Looking to see if we got any other warnings coming down or any talk of anything. I don't think we have anything popping up there. Okay, so severe thunderstorm warning continues for Rapides and Vernon. This is the newer one for Vernon, which this is 11 minutes old, but I don't think I've read this one. 4:23 p.m., a severe thunderstorm located near Rose Pine. That's for the one that was further southwest. Yeah, that was the earlier warning, and now we have that new warning that it encompasses Leesville, and this is for that storm that I'm kind of highlighting right now. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible, and quarter-sized hail. Hail damage to vehicles is expected, and wind damage to roof, siding, and trees. This is standard, what they say when these storms are coming, and it's certainly, you're going to have that potential. So, we're just going to watch these, see if they cycle up, see if they start to gain any rotation. We still have the front out to the west, so we're not all clear until this comes through, but this right here, this is going to be the main show. When that front comes through later on this evening, that's when I'm thinking we could see a few scattered showers along it, but we're not going to see that real heavy, we're not going to see the big severe threat like we're seeing right now. 3.6 inches of rain 3 miles east of Hornbeck. Gina, Trout, Goodpine area, you're under a tornado warning again, but as I've been kind of saying on this one, I don't see intense rotation right now. It did pick up quickly, and then it kind of dissipated, and this storm just doesn't have that look to me, so I'm not going to say all clear, but I'm going to say that one does not worry me that much right now. These storms actually look a little bit more intense to me, the one over northwestern Rapides, over Boyce, and then this storm that is very close to the Fort Johnson radar, that is going to be north of Rose Pine, looks like out toward Cravens, I believe. We're close to that, Fort Polk, Sandy Hill, North. They haven't changed all the names, I guess. What are we going to do? Fullerton, you could end up seeing the rain showers and storms pretty soon, and this storm is a severe one. Let's take a look at the lightning. Am I not seeing lightning on that one? Well, that's crazy. Got lightning on this one. You can see plenty of it up there over Boyce. You are getting absolutely hammered right now with that heavy rain, probably some small hail in spots, and lots of lightning. And then this thing is an absolute strobe light show. Boyce getting rocked right now. Yep. Heavy rain and wind in Faraday. Okay, Faraday, did you see any hail?
That hail will do it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah. The hail, you're going to get more of that friction in the clouds. And let me get a count on this beast right here. 248 strikes in the last 15 minutes. So that is a lot of lightning going on with that storm as it cruises across the Mississippi River into Mississippi, slowly but surely. We still have some heavy rain lagging behind that, and not as intense as what we're seeing, out to the east there with that big hail core.
Some good news for Sabine. They're out of the tornado watch.
Oh, Sabine is out of the tornado watch. Let's see. They haven't. Look at how fast you are. They haven't even been trimmed off on the Barron system yet. That's why we have them here, folks. Showers and thunderstorms are quite intense across the area right now, but at least we have some good news with some of us getting out of that tornado watch. Parts of the area starting to kind of get removed. And after this, I don't see us hitting 70 degrees for 10 days, maybe longer. It looks like we get into a real nice, cool pattern, and we're going to stick stick there for a while, and that means that we aren't going to see a lot of not going to see a lot of severe weather because we won't have the instability.
One note about Bayou Yanacoco, floodwaters are moving down the head of the river in response to the heavy rain today. I don't have a river level yet, but the flash flooding warning has continued and unedited, so it's going to continue.
Okay, so flash flood warning continues. That's northwestern Vernon Parish near Bayou Anacoco. I'm going to move the camera real quick to see if I can just pan around and see anything. It's not like I'm expecting anything terribly crazy here, but you never know. You just always want to make sure if you have a camera, you want to use it. So going to pan over a little bit toward the right here, and it looks a little dark and nasty out there. That's that big storm that's the severe thunderstorm that is to our northwest over Boyce right now. And I'm just going to go a little further. Let's see. Yeah, that's as far as we needed to go. It's probably the inflow coming into it there. All right. Somebody asked for the camera view. I was already doing it. How about that? And yeah, that's your severe thunderstorm that is now over Boyce and areas of northwestern Rapides Parish. So, again, thank you to Cenlaw Broadcasting for letting me have this camera up there. I'm supposed to have their logo, and I don't know why it fell off of there, but I'll have to glue that back up there. But thank you to them, an awesome partner in helping get this stuff set up and getting this beautiful camera view where we can look out. And I'm telling you, I love to storm chase, but, you don't get a view like this if you're on the ground. Now, I wish I was about 20 feet higher above these trees, but we'll fix that at some point. But check it out. You can see how I think you can see the low-level inflow coming in here, and then you can see that there's a different flow aloft. So it's just that broad-scale rotation we get with these storms. And let me just zoom in, make sure we don't have any mischief going on. I don't think we will, but you never do know. Just a second. There
You got some ragged bases there to the left.
Mm-hmm.
That
was a little lightning.
Try to pretend to be something.
Yeah, that's the stuff that always gets that's always fooling me. Yeah, but you get these little ragged bases here. It looks like there could be something, but I don't see anything that's imminent there. And yes, that is the Coliseum in the foreground. That is well ahead of this. So if your kids are out at YEC, do not worry about them. We so far so good. Things are looking pretty nice. Or things are looking at least not dangerous, I guess I should say. That's a heck of a storm, though. I'm going to go back and look at it on radar.
Tail cloud.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think we might have the inflow coming in here, and then you see the flow kind of an opposing direction.
Right.
So, yeah, kind of neat stuff. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at radar, make sure we don't have Armageddon unfolding that we've missed. Looks like that's the storm we were looking at right there. Tornado warning continues to our northeast, to my northeast in Gina. Not your northeast if you're in Gina, but we do have that report of wind damage 5 south-southwest of Midway. That is in LaSalle Parish. A couple trees and power lines were down on I'm Not Going to Try It Road. And let's see, we've got a hail report here. Hail Faraday measured 1.3. It's probably 1.25 being rounded up. That's Concordia Parish, Louisiana. So getting some storm reports coming in. Let me go ahead and
that's south. No, that is a Faraday. So that is in that hail corridor.
Yeah.
That's just one report.
Yep, one report, and actually it is a little bit south. So, I think the worst of that did stay north, a little bit north of that. So to get that report there, that means we probably saw some stronger hail, some larger hail up to the north. And I've still got I've got the camera here just in case. Just keeping an eye on that storm because we do have a nice little base on it, but not seeing any sort of indication of any low-level rotation that would be about to come here and cause some issues. Let me take a look, though, at that storm relative velocity. Again, a nice pocket. It looks like a straight line wind that's heading right along the Red River east of Boyce. That's probably going to be the biggest issue there with some 50 to 60, 65 mile per hour wind gusts possible along and just north mostly of I-49. The severe thunderstorm warning for the area southwest or southeast of Leesville continues, and I'll tell you this. I know we have that one report of a tornado confirmed with damage around Gorham. I'm so far, and I don't want to say this too soon because I know we've still got a long ways to go. We're not even halfway through this thing. I'm so far pleasantly surprised we haven't seen more of this stuff. Of course, I'm surprised. Of course, it's pleasant if that doesn't happen. But yeah, I'm a little surprised that we haven't seen more. Now that being said, I think we increased the wind shear a bit overnight.
It's possible that we see this evolve more into a wind threat tonight and a non-tornado event, other than maybe some QLCS tornadoes that would be within the wavy line. But the supercell stuff, I think, is probably going to devolve out of the forecast when we get nighttime coming and this broken line shifts south and east.
Yeah, and when we're talking about night, we're talking this is still going to be out of here by probably, hold on a second, did I hit a button there? Make sure I didn't screw up. Hello. You still hear me? Just let me know you can still hear me. But it's going to be one of those deals that it's going to be out of here by 9 or 10. And probably, obviously Sabine Parish, you're out of the tornado watch now. So if you're out of the tornado watch, you're not totally in the clear from rainfall, but I think the worst of things are over for you. I think as this line works through, it's possible we see a few more storms form back here, but it's not like we're going to be doing this at 2 a.m. or something. It's another damaging one.
Somebody commented they hear you, and folks in Rose Pine want to know what's going on over there. Rose
Pine. Let's take a look. Pineville, we haven't mentioned you much because you haven't had anything breaking. It hasn't been anything crazy up there, so that's great. You don't want to hear your name called on this. So we're focusing on where the intense stuff is right now and where it's going, and as of now, at least, that is not including Pineville. So Rose Pine, it's different down that way. Wait, oops, there we go. Rose Pine, you have another cell that's moving in. That severe thunderstorm warning is discontinued for you, so that's good news. The storm is moving to the northeast toward the radar site, but some heavy rainfall and maybe a few rumbles of thunder are possible. Let's see, a couple of lightning bolts there around Rose Pine. Right on the parish line there between Vernon and Beauregard. So this is how it looks right now. It seems like these storms really like to strengthen as they get up here just to the north of Alexandria. So we'll see what this one does as it comes up the pipeline here. But that one to our north right now, that is where a severe thunderstorm warning, a new warning has been issued actually. And let me go ahead and get you the details on that.
Some of the high-resolution models are indicating that area you just mentioned is where the most shear is available for updraft to ingest and create damaging wind or even tornadoes.
Yeah, and we, part of this is looking at the models, and then when you start to see them verifying and the actual data happening like this, well, then they're right. So severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Eastern Grant and Central LaSalle Parish. That is 4:44 p.m. Severe thunderstorm located near Timber Trails or 7 miles northeast of Boyce, moving northeast at 45. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and potentially some hail. And I'm telling you, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this camera again because it's something looking a little interesting. Now, this is on the small view, so let's see how interesting it looks when I actually pull it up. Let me pull this out so we're not zoomed in at all. So I kind of had zoomed in, and it's nothing overly crazy that I'm seeing there, but I just wanted to make sure. All right, I've zoomed out, I think. Yeah, I think those little ragged, kind of lowered.
The MRMS indicates that the rotation is way lower than it was when it was in northeast Vernon.
That with this storm?
Slightly
Yeah.
lower than it was then.
I just like scanning across the base to see what we have here, and I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out at me as dangerous, but I looking at the smaller view, I definitely wanted to take a peek at this, and you can see how those clouds out ahead of it are moving in a different direction than the clouds that are flowing into that storm that is still severe. This is the one that's moving into Grant Parish. This is the one that was near Timber Trails, or over Boyce, and continues to put on a pretty good show here. So we just scan around, take a peek, see what we see, and right now I don't see anything that's imminently tornadic. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for this cell that we can see from the camera, and that's nothing. Don't worry about it. I know you saw that little nub and we're like, oh my gosh. Nope. Okay. Well, I just wanted to take a look. That's why we have the cameras here. That's a rain shaft, I think, right there. Yeah. All right.
You see the little to the left right there, that's going to fool some folks too.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, he's talking about
just to a
this?
little bit higher. Yeah, into the range of the range shaft there. So don't worry about that. He's just pretending.
Yes.
For now.
Yeah. I'm just taking a look at everything and just scanning through it. And I mean that's why we have these cameras. I wanna use them for I want these. I'm telling you, I want them all over the place, and that's the goal. So that's what we're working toward. But yeah, what a view of that storm there that is right now non-tornadic, but it is something that we are watching very closely. And I'll show you it on radar now. That's the storm that's pretty much just to the northwest of Alexandria. That's the storm that has prompted the warning for parts of Grant and LaSalle Parish. We still have that tornado warning going, but it looks like that's going to be allowed to expire as that storm continues to move on. And we still have probably our most impressive signature here, and I'm going to go with storm relative velocity on this. Our most impressive signature is right here between around Timber Trails. So if you are up here around Timber Trails, Sherwood Drive, Austin Drive, Hooper Road, I'm going to go ahead and just take a look. This doesn't mean this is what you're seeing, but yeah, I mean, there's a persistent wind signal here with some potential for winds up to about 60 miles per hour. So if you're in that area, if you are further east from there, these winds, they're going to get pretty beefy here through Timber Trails and Ball, and then across the line into Grant Parish as that storm continues to move toward the east-northeast. So just, prepare as best you can. Damaging wind is the main threat with that storm, and you can see it kind of gusting out there as it moves toward Ball. This is going to cross 71, 167, 165, so hopefully you're not out there traveling. But get something to add?
Based on my limited vision, there's not a couplet there. There's just maybe an area of strong wind.
Yeah, and it looks like we just have a new warning now that has been issued for Northern Rapides Parish. Let me make sure that's the only one. Yeah. Okay. Let me go ahead and take a look and see what we've got here. Severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Rapides Parish. Let me see. For northeastern Rapides Parish, severe thunderstorm located over the Alexandria International Airport, moving east at 30 miles per hour. That's the one we were looking at. 60 mile per hour wind gust, penny-sized hail, radar indicated, damage to roof siding, trees is possible. This includes Alexandria, Pineville, Boyce, Alexandria International Airport, Ball, DeVille, Laboost, Tioga, Timber Trails, Essler Field, Kingsville, Holloway, and Paradise. So if you are in any of those areas that I just mentioned, there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for you, and I think they probably pulled this, a little further south than need be, but that storm is producing that. That's the one we're looking at with all the wind on it, and that's the one that we were looking at on the camera there from the Texas Avenue Cenla Broadcasting Skycam. But I'm gonna actually go back over to that. Oh, there's a tornado warning now. Yeah. Okay, so tornado warning, Northern Rapides Parish. I am going to see what they're saying about this one. Tornado warning has been issued for Rapides. This is heading toward the Ball area. So that's that area that looks like gusty wind, but now it looks like that last scan of radar, it looks like we have seen that rotation kind of tick upward. So a severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado. Let's go ahead and go right over the camera and take a look, because I don't think I see a tornado. Actually, I'm going to look at one thing first. Okay, so I don't see anything showing up there, but let's go to the camera. Because we're looking right toward it. Okay, hold on now. Tom, do you see that? right there?
Yeah.
I cannot confirm nor deny, but I am looking at this kind of area right here.
But that looks like it merged into the rain shaft.
Yeah, it
But,
does.
But that's what Louisiana's famous for.
I know.
Tennessee.
Yeah. This is what it's like. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so hard to see that, but we are tracking this. This is the cell that's near the airport. This, okay, so let me take one look at it. I'm going to pop up the radar for myself here. This is north of north of 28 west. So Coliseum, you're good. But I am watching this whole mass right in here and trying to see if I can get a little contrast on this and see if I see anything. And I'm trying to just kind of do my best to see what I see. And right now I don't see anything. There was a brief period there where back kind of set into this. It did look like there was something going on, but there's clearly, this is the area that we would be looking at here, looking to the northwest of Alexandria, kind of northeast of the airport now. And I'm going to just follow along as much as I can here. Yeah, I don't see anything. I mean, this right here, that's a rain shaft. So that's all rain right there. That's not just some giant tornado or anything like that. But you can see how low the cloud bases are. Yeah, I mean, it's just so low that if there is a tornado, it's always really difficult to see, or typically really difficult to see around here. So yeah, we got the. So yeah, I'm on the live camera right now, just in case. I'm gonna go back to radar here in a second, but I just had that moment where it kind of looked interesting on here, and I wanted to cross over and see if we actually saw something, because I know that's gonna tell people a lot more than if we're just seeing a radar screen here. That's the whole purpose of this thing. All right, and you can see you can see the cloud motions there. It's not a violent rotation or anything, but that upward motion going up into this. This is looking northwest from the Cenla Broadcasting Tower on Texas Avenue. And this is a tornado-warned cell that is over Northern Rapides Parish right now. And it looked like we briefly might have seen something. I cannot confirm nor deny this, but you want to seek shelter immediately, because we have a tornado warning with this cell that's looking pretty healthy as it heads in toward Ball and Tioga. If you're in that area, it is time to go ahead and seek shelter. That right there, that's that area that looks like now we're seeing a little more of a deviation in the wind on the backside. So that right there could be some pretty decent rotation, and I think that's what we were looking at. So if you are in extreme southern Grant, northern Rapides, if you are along like that area where 71 and 167 split, that's where this looks like it would be right now. If you're up around, what is that, Kings Country, up in just to the north, if you're up in by the Lowe's, the Walmart in Pineville, that area, actually a little further north from that, this is going to be up, this part's going to be up toward Ball Foods and all that stuff. If you're up, yes, okay, I was screwing up. I was geographically, I was off there. So this is up by Marlar Ford, that area. And then this is heading east toward Ball and Tioga. So 167, 165, all that. That's where this rotation is. That's where we have a tornado warning kind of right along the northern fringe of the parish here. Ball and Tioga, you are in on this one. And I'm just looking to see if we have any updates. Don't see any yet. So tornado warning is in effect. I have the camera here. I'm just keeping up with that, making sure I'm not missing something here. And what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think the Ball Tioga area is in the crosshairs here.
Yeah, this is Ball Tioga area. You are under a tornado warning. This includes Alexandria, but this is north of us, so I would not worry about that. If you are in Alexandria, I mean anywhere south of that area I was mentioning, which is where that split happens at I believe 71 and 165. So if you're in Alexandria, you're fine. There is more stuff to the southwest, but for now we're looking at this, and I want to take a look at the camera one more time. And no, I'm not seeing anything there that's jumping out at me, but it takes a second to kind of let my eyes adjust and all that. So let me just pan over a little bit, look a little bit more northward into this. And we are looking up toward Bulow, that area, and I'm just seeing a lot of dark stuff here. And we're losing the daylight, too, so we're not going to have this view terribly much longer, but pretty intense-looking storm right there, and there is a tornado warning with it. So let's jump over to radar. Go ahead.
According to the MRMS data, the best signature was there when it was between Highway 1 and 167.
Okay, so yeah, that's when we were looking at that's when we were looking up toward this. Let's go over to radar again, because we are we don't need to stare at a camera that's just showing clouds right now. I don't think we're going to be able to see much out of that, but I'm just going to leave that here so I can see it. Whoops. Hey-o. It's not going to work. Okay, there we go. Ball, Tioga. Yes, you are under the gun with this one. I am going to zoom down and take a look at some of these areas that are right in that immediate path. And hold on, I'm getting some texts. I want to make sure I'm not getting any sort of updates. Okay. So tornado warning. This is for north of Alexandria. This is mainly Ball and Tioga. This area right here, Monroe Highway, you know that area, right when you're heading into Ball. Williford Road, Camp Livingston, if you're up toward Ball Elementary, that area, Hooper Road. These are the places, Tioga, Roe Gully.
Tioga Junior High and High School.
Yeah, out there. I mean, if you're anywhere in that area where we have all those schools out there, even up toward like Mary Goff, that's the area right now that we're looking at with the strongest rotation. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look and yeah, right now that's not jumping out at me as a really, really strong rotational signature, but it's certainly something that's there. That's what prompted this tornado warning to be issued, and we had at least some inconclusive looks at things on the camera that, again, I don't really think were the tornado, but it had a pretty nasty look to that storm. So this tornado warning is going to be mainly, we're on that northern fringe of this warning, so Ball, Tioga, that area, and then further down the line, let's see, Craig Street, Brushy Road, Williford Road, and then 165 right as it crosses into Grant.
Camp Livingston Road out that way. That's north, right, very close to the Walmart Supercenter out there.
Yeah. So if you're anywhere from that Kingsville area up into Ball, Paradise Elementary, and then further down the line, you're going to be looking at northeastern Rapides Parish. This is probably, I don't want to say for sure it's going to stay north of 28, but on the current trajectory, I think it's going to stay north of Highway 28 and move up toward Catahoula Lake, toward the south end of Catahoula Lake. So that's just kind of further down the road here as this tornado warning continues until, I believe it was 5:30. Whoa, yeah, 5:30. That's a tornado watch. Okay, 5:30. And then I think this tornado watch, while it's going to be trimmed back to the west, we're going to see that extended time-wise down to the south. Let me take the lightning off so we're not all distracted by all that craziness. But yes, tornado warning in effect. Severe thunderstorm warnings also in effect. These include Vernon Parish. These include parts of Rapides Parish. And I think, did we get it? Yeah. Okay, so they've trimmed that tornado warning down to a level that I like it now. Not that I like it that you're in a tornado warning, but I think that needed to be away from Alexandria. So up into Ball and points to the east. That's where that's where our highest threat for damage from this system is, be it a tornado or straight line winds. So let's see, move this a little bit. That is where your strongest rotation track is. So if we extrapolate this downstream, it crosses over Monroe Highway here pretty soon, and then it's going to continue right along the parish line, right along the Rapides Grant Parish line. Let's see what these streets are out here. Camp Livingston, Clear Creek Road, that area, you are next in line. This is not a confirmed tornado at this point, but it is a tornado warning for radar indicated rotation. Not seeing, and I'll put it in motion just to make sure I don't miss it. Yeah, I don't see anything that I don't see anything on the debris tracker that would show me that we had anything that was confirmed just yet. But
see what we have on the pixel query for the wind velocity, because I don't see anything focused, as far as a tornado signature.
Yeah,
with that,
so-
but there is some strong winds.
So up around Nugent, you know, you get
Remember, those winds are elevated, folks. What we're looking about 4,000 feet above, maybe from the Fort Johnson radar.
2,200. So we're 2,200 feet up. So that's possible. That gets, you know, what's the reduction factor? 10, 15%, something like that. So this is still probably 55 to 60 mile per hour winds, maybe 65. And radar's imperfect, so we're not going to always see the exact strongest pixels out there. But yeah, right now it looks like possible wind gusts over 60 miles per hour right there on the Rapides Grant Parish line. If you're in that area, that is where the best chance for strong wind is, if it's straight line or if it's twisting with a tornado on the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at we should get some properties off of the skits. Where are you at? We don't have one. Well, how about that? Got one down here. Nothing going there. Okay, so yeah, tornado warning continues until 5:30, so that's for 25 more minutes unless they decide to cancel that warning, which would be just fine with just about everyone, I think. So this is mainly going to be up near Ball, Tioga, and moving toward the northeast. There we go. We got a skit. Let's see. BTI at 4.6. That's the Barron Tornado Index. That's not that high, but it's not something to ignore. We have a tornado warning in place on this storm for northeastern Rapides Parish. This does not include Alexandria. So if you are in Alexandria heading north, if you're in Ball and you're saying, hey, it's time for me to go home, I want to go grab dinner, I'd say give it 20 minutes. And, you know, if at all possible, you don't want to be traveling during these things. So yeah, tornado warning in effect in northern and northeastern Rapides Parish. And that is going to be the case, it looks like, until 5:30. 5:30 is how long that warning goes out. Storm relative shows the strongest wind velocities are actually a little bit north of where the tornado warning is, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning up there.
Trying to slip into Shreveport's territory.
That's right. Yeah, we're crossing over another one there where this goes from Lake Charles into Shreveport's responsibility. So, yeah, it's just something to keep an eye on. I'm actually going to look at that Vernon Parish storm with the Lake Charles radar.
Shreveport's not saying anything about it.
Shreveport's not mentioning that, yeah. So they're not saying anything. So that doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to do something, but that means we don't have imminent plans for that warning to be extended or expanded. So let's take this, put it in motion. Since it was so close to the radar, it was getting a little tougher to look at. This one should come right up over Alexandria and bring us some very heavy rainfall and some lightning and thunder. Let's take a look at the lightning in that one, and yes, it is pulsing up. Velocity not showing a lot, but there is definitely a mid-level rotation, which is entirely typical for a supercell thunderstorm. So tornado warnings continue across northeastern Rapides Parish. It looks like they kept that one going for northern Concordia. There you go, Parish. That one, I believe, should be expired for that area. And just moving on out. Have a hail report there. That's 1.25 inches, so that would be, what is that, $50? Yeah, 1.5 is ping pong. So $50 size hail out of that one. That was the report we had. I'm sure there was probably larger hail out of that one because that was quite the prolific looking storm. I'm going to go back over to the Fort Polk radar. And I'm going to actually, since we're so close in on it, I'm going to take a look at the velocity close to the radar site. Well, that's a little interesting. Got a little low-level rotation there. Nothing too intense, but going to watch this one as it heads up toward Alexandria here as we get a little boost in wind shear as we get into the evening as this system kind of approaches. And we're already seeing, multiple tornado warnings in the area. So this is the next cell. This is the one that I think is going to come right over town.
Yeah, and it may bring a warning. So we may have a time period where we have no warnings, and then we get back into it.
Yeah, that's it. And so we're going to be sticking with you here while we watch these. And I'm just, we're got all our little data sources here, and we're just going to be looking at it. I'm going to check some of the comments right now. Let's see what we've got. Like to see what you guys are saying. Extremely bad in Pollock. I can see it.
So, folks in Plocheville, you're okay right now.
Okay.
But it's coming.
Plocheville, you're looking good for now. It's really bad in Ball. Yeah, that's a heck of a look. That's a heck of a storm. Wind is stronger above the parish line. Yeah, it does not surprise me. Sky very light by the Ball Town Hall. Yeah, that will happen. Oh, we got new ones. I can't keep up with y'all. South end of Catahoula Lake, that's where this storm right here is headed. So south end of Catahoula Lake right there, that's where this tornado warned storm is kind of pointing at now. That doesn't mean you're going to see a tornado warning extended into that area, but that's where this is moving.
The Ola Bunky, rain and thunderstorms is in the forecast, possibly severe.
That's right.
I think by 10 o'clock is a good guess as to when it's pretty much over with here in Cenla.
All right. I was just clicking through a few products to see if I saw anything worth yapping about, but I did not.
Over 3 inches in Aloha.
2. Woodworth, it's this stuff right out here. That's what we're watching. This is coming toward Rapides. So, what about it? They're saying kids are out having dinner from the whole YEC thing. They're spread out across the area. I would say, this storm right here is coming toward us and probably gets here in, an hour. Let's see a measurement tool, 30 miles, 28, 25.
So I'd say an hour is a good round.
I would either rush or take my time. That's your option right there, because I think this storm, it has the potential, because of the environment we're in, to become this could produce a tornado, or it could at least have a warning like we're seeing up here. Hopefully that didn't touch down, but we could see this become warned. This is a pretty angry looking cell. So it's not my favorite thing that we're all scattered around town right now, but all you can do is be safe, stay off the roads, stay in the place you're at, and seek shelter if you have warnings issued. But yeah, I know we've got to live life and everything. I always want everyone to be safe.
From Shreveport.
From Shreveport now.
We are monitoring weak rotation riding the Grand Rapides Parish line, which is what we've been looking at.
Okay, that's
just north of Ball. The environment is becoming somewhat less conducive for tornadoes, and we'll keep the severe thunderstorm warning going for now.
And they just canceled the tornado warning. So, as Tom was reading that, he made it happen. But there is still that weak rotation up there with the potential for straight line winds. It's heading right toward Catahoula Lake. Let me zoom down on that before we kind of shift our focus toward the storm that's approaching Alexandria. And yep, Bob, it's coming for you. Bob, Rogers, Magnolia, that area, that's where we have the best chance to see some strong gusty winds and maybe a little bit of a pulse down on that, but still showing some 65 mile per hour pixels aloft, a couple thousand feet up. And that straight line wind threat remains across extreme northeastern Rapides Parish. And then we have a new tornado warning coming in and then into LaSalle and Grant. So let's go and talk about this tornado warning on that storm that I was just talking about. Let me just pull up radar while I kind of digest what's going on here. But this one is moving right into Rapides Parish from Vernon, right near the radar site. And it says, severe thunderstorm. So first off, tornado warning for southwestern Rapides Parish and east central Vernon Parish in west central Louisiana. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near LeCamp, or 11 miles west of Hindston. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour. I would argue it might be a little more east-northeast. Flying debris, all the standard threats there. This will be near LeCamp and Leander around 5:15, which is now. It'll be near Hindston and Sieper around 5:20, Otis around 5:30. Other locations impacted include Calcasieu. So, this is the storm. So straight line wind threat up here. We are pivoting onto this one, which is the most dangerous storm in the area right now. And I'll show you the areas that are kind of under the gun here. It's going to be, unless we definitely get a tornado, it's going to be really tough to see if it's right at the radar. So look at this, though. You can see being that this is so incredibly close to the radar that you got inflow coming toward, and then you've got that moving away there. So you got outflow moving away, inflow moving in. This is clearly low-level rotation of some sort that has prompted this tornado warning, and that's going to move up toward Leander and Heinston as it moves on toward the east or slightly north of east. In fact, I'm going to put this in motion so we can kind of see what motion we're getting out of this storm, but that one looks pretty nasty to me. And it looks like I see that it looks like it kind of expanded there. Yeah, I think it might have moved off the radar a little bit, so maybe that's getting us a little less attenuation. But that tornado warning is, I totally understand why that has been issued, and we are going to be watching this one closely as it comes up into the area. Now, one note for you, and this is the deficiency I still have with this whole system. Should we lose power here, I'm offline. So I'm going to get on my phone and I'm going to stream that way, and we're going to talk you through it. That's as best we can do right now. I'm looking into some systems to fix that, and yes, I know Ward Electric is one of my sponsors, so I might be reaching out to them because I know I need to keep that. I need to be able to broadcast in this adverse stuff. So first off, what I'm going to do is pivot my camera to the west. So it's going to be dark, but, if you have lightning and things like that, might be able to see it. So I'm going to move that back to the west as we have a tornado warning now in effect for Rapides and Vernon Parish, for parts of those parishes. And that's a pretty nasty looking storm right there. And what I'm going to do here in a second is pull this radar back to Lake Charles. Pause it. Go to Lake Charles. And this way we're a little further up into the storm, which sometimes it's not a good thing to be further up, but we can see a different level. We can see a little bit more of the structure of the storm at different levels. So yeah, that's a deep rotation through this storm. That now we're up around 5,000 feet looking at it from Lake Charles, and I would guess that if I go in and do the same thing at Shreveport, I'm going to see the same thing, and there you go. Same deal. Rotation up around 8,400 feet, 85. Yeah. So this is a low to mid-level rotation that goes pretty much throughout this storm, at least through the lowest 10,000 feet at the very least, and that has prompted a tornado warning. And let's put this in motion and get it closer in here. I'm going to take this down to the last 30 minutes. And it's tough to I can see it, but you see how there is this inflow, you get that outflow come down the backside, clear rotation, and then a smaller area that I'm interested to see what happens in the next scan.
And just south of that area, you just pointed out, I can see the wind. Just visualize, you can just feel the wind kind of punching in from the west.
And these are the areas that are under the gun right now. Sand Hill Road, Cora Road, Highway 121 up toward Leander. You need to be in your safe space. And, that's kind of an area that we're watching too. I'm looking to see, making sure we're not seeing any debris out of this. But there is a tornado warning in effect for this cell that is right near the Fort Johnson radar, and this cell is going to continue on toward the east-northeast. It's going to impact areas of eastern Vernon Parish. Then it's going to get in toward, like I said, Leander out that way, Heinston, Otis, out toward Castor Plunge, Woodworth, that area. And then depending on how it goes, you see how these warnings, they kind of fan out. Well, it's impossible to tell you that this isn't going to deviate a little to the left or a little to the right. And it's a tornado warning, so we want everyone to be as safe as possible. We don't want to warn the whole state for this, but we certainly want to keep everyone in a plausible area of threat to be ready and to be safe and have themselves in as safe a position as they can.
The latest radar scan shows that the rotation has increased.
So that's what we're looking for now is trends. And then we look, weather's all about trends, forecasting it. So seeing a trend up, obviously not a good thing. Let me pull that up. And that right there, that close to the radar site, I can't tell you that's for sure a tornado, but that is looking more and more like there possibly could be a tornado there.
300 feet high.
200 to 300 feet high, yeah. And located next to those thunderstorms that we're seeing, I mean, or next to that area that we're seeing, that is quite possibly a tornado. And I'm going to just take you down into this. And we're going to keep that area off to the southwest. And I want to show you who's next, because if you're in Cora Road, that area, that is where we're looking at this already. And you're going to have to forgive me, because I know I'll screw up some of these roads, and you can correct me. I know you probably know more than me, but Grayson Marlar, Chester Merchant Road, Highway 121. If you're along that area near where 121 and 112 meets, there is the potential you'll see a tornado as this continues.
Driving south out of Heinston.
Yeah.
And then you turn west.
Yes. Yeah.
And
we've got confirmed.
South. So and that area between
TDS
Heinston and LeCount looks like the.
All right. So tornado debris signature near Sand Hill Road, south of Leander. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So if you're in that area, this is a now confirmed tornado that is moving toward the east-northeast, and it's really easy to see. This is that area we were looking at. Let me pull up.
South of Leander.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's as clear as it gets. Tornado on the ground. That's official. This is just west of the Cora community, and this is going to generally track up toward Heinston. I don't know if that's Afeman. Afeman. Okay, Afeman. Thank God for you. And that is where this is going. Now, I'll put it in motion, but I don't, you know what, I think I can track this. Okay, I can do that by hand. And so that was that first little blip right there, just southwest of Cora, and then that is a very, very clear tornado confirmed debris signature right there. Let me get rid of that. Sorry for all the bouncing back and forth. So right there, Cora, if you are in that area, if that Cora Road area sounds familiar to you, and then if you are up around like Tolbert Loop, Highway 121, let's see what kind of distance we have here on this. Make sure I'm...
Yeah, I'd say Leander, be vigilant there. Highway 463.
This is not in a massive hurry either from what it looks like. It was moving, I think, 25, 30 miles per hour. 30 miles per hour. Tornado warning, confirmed tornado right over Cora, right over the Cora community right now. So if you are in Heinston, in Afeman, if you're south of Leander, if you are south of Highway 121, and you're west of Heinston, actually that's going to kind of come into Heinston where it hooks around there. If you're around Heinston, you call Heinston, that's where your address is. This thing's coming towards you.
Chester and Merchant Roads.
Yeah, that is a 100% definite tornado on the ground. And let me take a slightly bigger view just for a minute.
Latest radar scan, as you can tell, shows that it's maintaining its intensity. So this isn't something that's just going to dip and be out off the ground in 30 seconds.
No, this is one we're going to really want to watch. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else in town right now, because this appears to be the one we're going to be focusing on. Yes, there are severe thunderstorm warnings in northern Rapides, into LaSalle and Grant, but this storm right now has a confirmed tornado that is moving across eastern Vernon Parish. This is moving into western Rapides Parish, and it's moving at about 30 miles per hour. So if you are in Cora, that's where this is right now. The Cora community, that's where this tornado that is confirmed is on the ground. And it looks like we have another scan of it that's still showing up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the same one. Okay, so Heinston, let me see just how far this is. About 6 miles. You just don't have much time to prepare.
12 minutes, right?
Yeah, and it's, I mean, look at that. I mean, next scan, still on the ground. So that's 4 scans we've had where this is on the ground. And it's going to continue to move along that path that I've roughly drawn there toward Heinston, Elmer, Calcasieu.
You're take a little of a right turn.
Let's see.
To due east.
Here's what I'll do. I'm going to draw this kind of how I had it. And we're going to see what kind of path it's moving on. And I'm just going to drag this back. Yeah, it looked like it did take a little bit of a jog to the east. So Calcasieu, you're certainly not out of the woods. Don't look at this stuff. Don't look at how it was moving along this line and think, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm not right on this line." First off, radar is not going to pick up exactly what's going on the ground. This tornado is going to tilt as it comes out of the cloud. We might be seeing something like this, and it might be a half mile, a quarter mile different. Now, this one's very close to the radar site, so it should be pretty true to where this actually is. But if you're in any of this area, like, let me just draw this out. I mean, if you are anywhere in this area, you most certainly want to be in your safe space, as safe as you can, as many walls between you and the outside as you can, and just be ready, because this is a confirmed on-the-ground tornado near the Cora community and approaching Afman. It could come right overhead in that area. Heinston, Calcasieu, Elmer, Melder eventually. You are in an area where you need to be very safe and be ready for this.
Yeah, and tell your friends and neighbors about this. Somebody may not be listening. They may not be watching sources, and they may not know what's going on. But tell them there is a tornado on the ground. And again, as Nick mentioned, Cora, Afman, Heinston, Calcasieu, Elmer, Melder, maybe even up toward Price Crossing. Be careful. Be on the lookout, because you are in a tornado warning, and there is a tornado on the ground.
And we're showing you, I mean, this is the tornado right here. This is, just to give you a little larger view, let me circle it. Oops, sorry about that. This right here, that is a most definite tornado that has moved through the Cora community. It's very close to Afman, and it's going to continue on toward the east or slightly north of east, and it's going to come right in between Heinston and Calcasieu, somewhere in there. It doesn't, if I say between, it doesn't mean you're in the clear if you're in Heinston or Calcasieu. Elmer, Melder, all these places you're seeing right here, you want to be in your shelter now. This is as legitimate as a tornado warning gets. This is most definitely on the ground. I can't tell you how strong it is, but I can tell you that looking at the wind shear that we've seen with this, and it being so close to the radar, that it's likely going to be, especially since it's lasted several scans on the radar, it's probably going to be a stronger tornado. So you want to absolutely not just, you don't want to go out and try to get a picture of this or do any of that stuff. You want to be as many walls between you and the outside as you can. And if you have time, if you are far enough east of this and you can get out of a mobile home, this is not a safe one to be in a mobile home on. And I'm going to put this in briefly in motion here. I'm going to do it. There we go. And you can just see how that thing, very clear tornado signature. And we're just gonna, if you have any information you can safely get to us, please do. I'm looking at the National Weather Service chat. They are wondering if there are any reports with this, and it's not as dense as it was, but that is still a tornado debris signature that is absolutely on the ground.
And you can tell where ground zero is. It's right there where Highway 463 meets 121.
463 and 121, that area.
112, and right in through that particular area.
So let's zoom down closer now. I'll clear out
them. If you're close to that, don't let your guard down either. If you're in Calcasieu or Heinston, Elmer, Lisseau, then don't let you may, in fact, my advice would be seek your safe place now.
Yeah, definitely right now. We're 3-4 miles away from this in Heinston, right where that big bend is on Highway 121. It looks like this is going to come right across that area, Highway 463, where that comes into Highway 121, where 112 meets 121. 461 meets 121. So 121 is not the place to be right now. This area right here, that is where this storm is going to continue to move toward just to the north of east, I think. And what we can do actually is take the track on this. And let me see. So touchdown near Cora, and see how it deviated a little to the left on that last scan. So this would take it more on a line toward Heinston as opposed to Calcasieu. Again, if you're in this tornado warning, it's a confirmed tornado. Tornadoes are relatively small when you're looking at the size of a parish, but in this case, we have a good idea of where it is. We know where it is, and we can tell you, within a few miles here, Hineston down to Calcasieu, Elmer, Lisso, those areas, you need to be in your shelter right now, as this tornado warning is for a confirmed tornado that is not only confirmed. Like earlier, we had a confirmed one that was confirmed for a long time, had another update there, and it had already lifted. This one has not lifted, and it looks like, unfortunately, this is headed right in toward Hineston. It's going to cross over 121 right now at Chester Merchant Road, up toward 121 and 112, anywhere along 121. If you are near Hineston, this is a tornado warning, tornado on the ground right now, confirmed by radar, and just looking to see if we have any sort of updates here.
Yeah,
Is anybody saying?
Let's see. Also, of course, we got the Lebos over there. We've also got Sissy's Restaurant, and we got the Sabine State Bank.
Okay, Tom's getting in on Sissy's Restaurant, Lebo's, Sabine State Bank, in that area. If you're in Hineston and if you're near those or in those, that tornado is on the ground. It is clear as a bell right there. Don't worry about this stuff.
And it's not too far from Oak Hill High School.
Okay, Oak Hill High School. Okay, so if you're in that area, you're close enough. If we say, if we mention something, throw it out there, it may be a few miles away from where this actually will pass, but that's close enough to where you need to seek shelter for this stuff. Let me pull it up there for you. All right. So tornado warning, confirmed tornado. I'm going to take a look at reflectivity it looks like we're probably going to have some strong straight line winds down here, down to the south flank of this line of storms, south of Afman, and then up into the northern part. That's where we have that confirmed tornado right near Hineston. This is eventually, of course, moving toward Rapides Parish. I'm going to pull the correlation coefficient back up because that is our best avenue to see where this tornado is tracking right now. And I'm going to also take a second and see. I'm going to see on the camera looking west. Yeah, is that another update crossing 121? Man, this thing has been on the ground now. Let's just, we can, I'm stepping back in time here. 518. And very clearly still on the ground at 5:32. So we're looking at 14 minutes, probably about 7 or 8 miles from Cora to the west side of Hineston already. So if you're in Hineston, it goes without saying, you need to seek shelter right away. This is a tornado warning. A tornado warning for a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. I'll do a quick distance track. 1.3 miles. So this could be in Hineston as we speak. Is this the last storm? This is the biggest band that's going to come through here after this. After this next couple of hours, I think we will see things start to kind of slow down. But this is going to be a pretty rough bit here for a little while. And there's your tornado warning. It's not an emergency, right, Tom?
Right.
Okay. Confirmed tornado on the ground, basically in Hineston. I'm going to go ahead and throw that correlation coefficient back up. And since we've been tracking it, it's a lot easier to track it. And let me just... This area right here, that area right there, probably not a tornado, but this is one we've been tracking for 15 minutes. It's now crossing 121 and likely moving toward Hineston. A little bit of a left turn. Maybe this one's about to cycle and pull this tornado up into the main system, and then we'll have to watch on the southwest flank. But yeah, it looks like the debris signature has weakened some, but this is over Hineston. Tornado warning for a confirmed tornado. We're still seeing something here, so you need to obviously still be in shelter if you're along Highway 121, 112, 461, anywhere north of Highway 121. And I don't want to get too cute. If you're a mile south of 121, you still need to be in shelter as this tornado heads toward Hineston.
Err on the side of caution.
Always do. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the velocity storm relative. Still seeing, we're still seeing the confirmed signature on radar, but it's looking a little bit more like this is trying to gust out. So just slight amount of hope right there.
Yeah, you can see it punching out.
Yeah. And it looks like it might be becoming a little more linear.
Yeah. Still a high wind threat. See what pixel query would give.
On the wind?
Yeah.
Okay.
See where we're at with that.
Okay, taking a look at the wind. 58, 59. Yeah, so we're probably seeing at least 50, 60 mile per hour winds away from the tornado that has been confirmed by radar and has been on the ground for about 15 minutes here, just on the west side of Heinston. And I'm just looking to see if they're reissuing any warnings or anything like that. Okay. And trust me, we see these other blue dots and everything. If they're not co-located with the wind shear and all that good stuff, we know that that's not going to be a tornado. But this right here is, or at least has been, and hopefully our next scan shows that we've seen improvement. Not a ton of lightning. Starting to hear the thunder here at the house. And just to check out here, yeah, not seeing other severe threats right now. I mean, yes, there is the severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Rapides into southern LaSalle, but waiting on that next scan to see if... All right, let me get my zoom tool back. There we go. Well...
The MRMS data is kind of inconclusive right now. It shows that the signature is not as well defined now. I think I can see that.
Yeah. So we're not seeing as well defined of a signature. Hopefully this lifted right before it hit Heinston. I don't know. I'm not I am not getting reports here, which that's how it works. I mean, you're not going to get reports from people that just got hit by a tornado. So I know this was on the ground for 15 minutes. Right now, it's a little more inconclusive. Looks like we had a new tornado warning issued.
Power out at Coteal.
That actually makes me think. I'm going to check something on the website real quick. I don't believe I have this.
See the power outage?
Yeah, I'm going to see. I'm going to see
I'll
the.
look it up for you.
Okay. All right, so new tornado warning, or is that the same one? CC drop getting larger. So the latest warning at 5:35, a confirmed tornado was located over Heinston, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Let me put the radar back on so this isn't some absolute mess you're looking at.
1,200 power outages right now.
Okay, Clico reporting 1,200 customers out in Rapides.
Yeah, let me see if I can find out exactly where that's at.
Let's see. So the tornado will be near Heinston, Otis, and Elmer around 5:40 p.m., Gardner around 5:50. Other locations include Calcasieu. You could potentially see this as well. So they're still calling it radar confirmed. I don't know if that's because of what we had earlier. But looking at things right now... And I've just got to kind of loop it just to see how consistent it is. That still looks like it might be on the ground near Heinston. But that would be tucked a little bit back more into the heavy rainfall. So the signal's becoming a little more muddled right now. But there's still an immense surge of strong wind coming out of this. And it's possible that this is going to, if it did by chance come up and we don't have this on the ground right now, it's possible that we see that drop again. So if you're anywhere on 121 or heading east on 112 out of Heinston, you want to be obviously in your safe space. This is going to move toward the east or slightly north of east. So Woodworth, eventually Alexandria, we could be in line for this, and we are going to. We're going to be watching that. And yes, we know Tom needs a microphone. We knew we were going to learn a lot today, and we've learned some things, and we've learned also that we're going to get him a camera so where we can both be in the boxes, have our own microphones, and we can just do our thing. So
I can't get any detailed data on the power outages out there, but what our goal was with that is to check and see. Sometimes one of the first indications that you see a tornado track are the power outages that would follow that. So I can't be definitive right now, but we had a 15-mile interval there where we had what was a tornado on the ground. So
yeah, we absolutely did. I'm getting over a little cold here, folks. Gotta have a good woman in your life. Ooh. All right. So
more thunder and louder.
Yeah, you can hear that in the background now.
At headquarters.
Sissy's in Heinston still has lights. Winds got very high. Well, that is good to hear.
Yeah.
Hey, you like it when we're calling you out and and you still have lights. I like that you still have a roof. Let's see. Like every time. Okay. Gonna zoom in here and take a look and see what we have here now that we've had a brief break. Check out that debris tracker and see if we see any. I'm gonna put it in motion. Yeah, I'm not seeing a real clear signal. I mean, I really. I can't confirm or deny, but earlier I could confirm. Now it's just, let's say we still have a tornado warning and you need to be careful. There is a lot of rain and thunder heading into Alexandria and Pineville and Ball, where you had your scare earlier. But the worst of it's lifted, good. Yeah. But the worst of this is south of Alexandria, it looks like. I think this storm, we had talked about how this was eventually going to merge into a big line of storms, and this is happening right now. Now, interestingly enough, that's your actual front out way to our west. It looks like we do have one storm out in Texas. Let me pull off the lightning here. And we've got one cell trying to do something out there in Jasper and Newton County, Texas. But right now, new severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. That's good to see. Severe thunderstorm warning. Never happier to see that than after you had a confirmed tornado for a while. Yeah. So that means they are kind of downgrading their thought process. They've expired the tornado warning for Rapides, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes parts of Rapides, a little bit of Avoyelles, and a little northern nub of Evangeline Parish. And I'm going to go ahead and read this for you. Severe thunderstorm warning for Central Rapides Parish in central Louisiana, North Central Evangeline Parish, and Northern Avoyelles Parish until 6:45 p.m. So that's going out over an hour. It's moving east at 25 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and quarter-size hail. That's your main threat. Hail damage to vehicles is possible, and I think some wind damage is possible as well as this continues to move across Rapides Parish. Now this warning looks like it barely includes Alexandria, but again, it seems like we're kind of slipping between the two worst storms, you know?
Speaking of barely, look at Avoyelles Parish there, where the polygon just extends right across the board, and Evangeline Parish. Yeah. Y'all are in the warning, but from a practical standpoint, it should be more of a say, okay, well, what about after this warning time? What was valid till 6:30?
6:45.
6:45. So 6:30 start getting concerned and seeing if the warning will be issued actually for much deeper into your parishes. I would suspect that at least for Voice Parish it would be.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I think this will get continued on to the east as this storm continues to march that way. That tornado warning, that confirmed tornado warning, I wish I could just toggle off a certain warning. That one, I believe they've allowed that to expire. But we did have quite a crazy run there with that. So let me take a look at the. You can see, yeah, this thing is becoming very linear. You had the rotation up there; it was very clear, and now it's just kind of bowing out there on a very small scale.
Very, very interesting geek thing. That looks very much like a non-tropical weather system with that comma shape. Mm-hmm. And so what we're seeing there is on a very small scale, mirroring what happens on the very large scale.
Yeah, that's very cool stuff to see play out. Of course, you hope there was no damage or anything like that, but to see that strong surge of wind come out almost like a small-scale cold front right here, and that just the inflow pulling all that warm air, and yeah, it's quite a thing to watch here on this. That's an old severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so Rapides Parish, pretty much all under severe thunderstorm warnings right now, except for the northwestern part of the parish and the extreme southern, and then we have this line stretching down and again becoming much more linear here. We aren't seeing these storms out ahead of this main line become supercells. We are seeing supercells form along the line, but now it really looks like things are kind of elongating out into that main one solid line of storms.
And that confirmed tornado warning is going to be dropped here. There we go. There it is.
Look at you. You did it again. All right. Confirmed tornado warning is gone. That is always the best news. So I'm going to go ahead and so we can forget about it, not loop things here. But severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect now. It looks like this and then the one over southern LaSalle, we can nip Grant out of that one. Those are the only warnings we have going right now. So big time rain falling out here. I hear it. Yeah. Showers and storms across the area. Let's take a look at the lightning here. I mean, it's not like what we saw up around Natchez and Faraday earlier, but we do have a lot of active weather in the area. It's loud, it's crazy, heavy rainfall. We need rain. We don't want it this way. And then a new special weather statement on this little drifter out here in Newton County, Texas. So if you do have to, let's say, okay, the kids that were out, or anybody who's out at dinner right now, if you're in Alexandria, if you're part of the YEC deal, just stay where you're at for the next 30 or 40 minutes. And then after this moves through, I can't say we're all clear here in Alexandria, but I think things are going to improve quickly. And then we could, again, we have another storm developing to the southwest. So we could see another one, but at this point, I'm not overly concerned with big severe once we get through this thing here. Let me just take a look just for fun here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any sort of wind issue there. But that's your surge right there, very clear as day.
So what do we read on that on the picture?
All right, we're gonna check out the wind speeds that are looking much more manageable now. Well, I'm bunking them all up here. Oh, no, I didn't hit pixel query. All right, here we go. Oh, don't get my power. 55. Well, no, it went to 35 because it moved. So 40 to 55. That's kind of your general idea. Looks like it is weakening a bit. There could be a resurgence of this, but to see this, as he was talking about earlier, a QLCS, a quasi-linear convective system kind of take shape, that's when you'll see more transient brief tornadoes develop. It doesn't mean they would be weak necessarily, but when we see things move away from being more individual cells and you get this line that's pretty connected, the storms are kind of competing for that environment out ahead. They also get a gust front, or they get that surge of cooler air that rushes out ahead. So it's tougher to do what a supercell does, which is ingest all that warmth and moisture and instability and kind of create its own environment. But we can still see some strong gusty winds with storms like this. Obviously, lots of heavy rainfall and lightning, and we still have that flood warning in spots where we were talking about this. This is a 3 to 4 year return event on the rain they had up there, with 3 to 4 inches of rain falling in only 3 hours.
Yeah, and we're getting more information about the event around Gorham. It looks like around 2:40 p.m. There was a possible tornado on the ground. There was a debris signature with that. So I think once the Shreveport office does a survey, they'll go out there and they'll find a tornado. And it did produce some structural and tree damage, and that was around the Gorham community and around Highway 119.
Okay, so Highway 119 out that area. So it looks like we had at least 2 confirmed tornadoes in the area today. Let's see. I'm going to take put those back on. What I'm going to do is take off the storm reports right now, but I'm going to bring them back later. I'm just going to kind of take you through and show you where the active stuff is right now, be you under a warning or not. So starting off in the east, Faraday, it looks like some heavy rain moving in. Jonesville, you still have that heavy thunderstorm that's actually a new heavy thunderstorm after you had that one that produced some hail earlier. Southern Concordia Parish, there's another cell that's moving on into Mississippi. As we kind of back down into southern LaSalle Parish, still a severe thunderstorm warning there. Lots of heavy rain, maybe a straight line wind threat there in extreme southern LaSalle right here. So if you're just out east of DeVille and you're, that area of Highway 28, when you head up toward Jonesville, when you hit that whole Texaco town area, still some heavy rain going on there. Where the worst of things are right now is over Rapides Parish. That is where we still have a severe thunderstorm warning. We earlier had a confirmed tornado out near Heinston and Cora, and that developed very near the Fort Johnson radar site. Right now, this is gusting out, lots of heavy rainfall, possibly some small hail, and I think some gusty winds on the order of 50 to 60 miles per hour. Going further down the line here, southeastern Vernon into extreme southern Rapides, southwestern Rapides, Union Hill area, north of Elizabeth, then down toward Dry Creek, that area, northeastern Beauregard Parish. Heavy rainfall, lots of thunder and lightning. And then as we stretch further into southern and central Beauregard, nothing severe here, just some brief heavy rainfall. As we have a little bit more of the marine layer influence there, and that means we have cool air or cool water out in the Gulf of Mexico. So that kind of reduces the instability. And we're seeing those thunderstorms much weaker down in southern areas. And then one little bonus storm there near Bon Weir, Newton, Texas. They've kind of been a starting point for a lot of these today. I'll be interested to see if this can sustain itself as it moves on toward the east-northeast, but it's certainly something that we'll be watching.
Got a report of hail damage to vehicles in Faraday.
That's not a surprise.
No size indicated.
Yeah. If it was damaging vehicles, I've always found, for me, typically that's going to be larger, like ping pong or larger. I mean, you can get it out of $50 though. So let's take one more look, and then we might dump out here for a little bit because it looks like no imminent tornado threats. I'm not watching anything really pulsing up at this point. Did you have anything you wanted to add right now?
No, I think that's about it. We're not through. We're just kind of going to stand down for a minute.
Yeah, we're going to reload here, take a couple of drinks of water, see what's going on out there, and should we see a tornado warning pop up, I don't even do the countdown. We just start streaming. We get on it right away. So
somebody from Lafayette's wanting to know what's going on down there.
Lafayette? I don't know. I'm gonna call Rob Perillo, see what he says. No, it looks like down that way the severe threat's going to be lower. It's going to be later into this evening as that front is trailing way back here. But again, that whole marine layer means south of I-10, there is going to be a slightly reduced severe threat. So good news for you there.
Less forcing, too, coming aloft.
Yep. All right. Well,